Hi, I'm Richard Randall, and welcome to Your Real Estate Voice with Barb Schlinker, the owner of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. This is the weekly radio show that informs and educates you on how to buy or sell real estate with Colorado's Real Estate Authority, Barb Schlinker. Barb Schlinker is a retired Navy veteran. Barb is an author. Barb Schlinker is also a pilot, and Barb and her team enjoy all that Colorado and the Front Range have to offer. Barb, always great to be talking with you. Now, we air Your Real Estate Voice every Saturday. And if you can't listen to the entire show, it is always available on Barb's site, barbhasthebuyers.com, or simply search for Barb on most of the podcast platforms like iHeartRadio, Spotify, etc. Every week, Your Real Estate Voice covers great information about the housing market and one of the largest assets for most people, the home. So, Barb, what are we going to be covering today?
Well, Richard, the first topic I'm going to cover is now a good time to sell a house in Colorado? It's funny, it depends on who you talk to. Some people are out there saying, "Oh, the market's terrible and nothing's selling." And then I met with an appraiser yesterday. He goes, I have more business now than I've ever had." So it really depends. And the next topic we're going to cover is, can a Colorado home seller change their mind once they accept an offer? We'll also include in that segment kind of the process from contract to closing, so you know what to expect. I just met with a home seller yesterday, and they're having experiences with a different agent that don't sound right. And they're confused and not sure, what's going to happen next. So it's always good to have somebody that really has the expertise to know what's going to happen next and have the sellers prepared so they don't make a mistake. And then the third topic is how to sell your home in Colorado for the most amount of money. It's not what you think. Some people think if they price it really high, that's how you get the most money. But at the end of the day, that doesn't work. And last but not least are the top mistakes that home sellers make that can cause a home not to sell. And as always, I love covering my hot new listings. Richard?
So, Barb, we're heading into the spring selling season, and the Fed seems uncertain about lowering interest rates while demand is lower than it was last year. What kind of market are we in right now? A buyer's market where the buyer has the advantage, or a seller's market where it's the other way around?
Well, I will say that it's leaning a little bit more towards a buyer's market right now. And that's solely because there's a lot more available homes on the market. So buyers have more choices. And there are quite a few buyers still to this day. Just yesterday, I talked to one that told us, we're just going to maybe sit on the sidelines and see if the rates come down. Now, I don't believe the rates are going to come down at all. That will be anything substantial between now and the end of the year. So I really don't feel like that's a good strategy if you're a buyer. I have all different kinds of automated value data points. I have two different research companies that I use. One of them actually provides projections of where home values are going. So I looked at a property that we bought as an investment recently, and I was very surprised to see in the next 3 years, right now it's worth 406. In 3 years, it's going to be worth 445. So I'm like, if you're a buyer, I wouldn't wait around for the rates to come down, because you're never really going to catch up if the home values start going back up. And mortgage rates, basically, they've been almost the same now for the last, 3 months, 4 months, something like that, hovering between around 7-ish% for conventional and the mid to low sixes for the government loans, which would be VA, FHA, and things like USDA and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, I think what's going on is we're going to see the rates stay pretty steady going through the summer, but we're going to see more inventory on the market, more competition for home sellers. Yet, if they price it right, that is the way that you're going to get the most money when you sell your home. You want to make sure before you put your home on the market that you're absolutely the best home for the best price. And that is actually the way to get the most money. And it's interesting to me that it seems like the buyers are very well educated on the market, even more so than a lot of agents, because they're actively looking on all these tech company websites. So they can see not only the asking price for your home, but they can also see all the homes around it, what the website company thinks those homes' values are. And in just seconds, they can figure out whether or not that home is a good buy or not. So they understand, and they're waiting for the right deal before they actually go out and say, hey, I want to buy this house. Now, the interesting part is that right now, homes are actually selling faster. We just got new statistics from May, and the average days on market actually dropped a bit by about 6 days. So that's good for home sellers. That means more buyers are out in the buyer pool looking for homes. But the big shock to me was that the number of available homes is really surging up, especially as compared to last year. As compared to last year, we have 28% more homes. So just to put that in a numerical perspective, let me test my eyes here. Last year, this time, there were about 2,600 homes in the Pikes Peak MLS, and right now there's almost 3,700 homes. That's a big surge just in 1 year in the number of available homes for sale. And so that tells me that the prices could tend to drop a little bit if buyers are finding other options, and homes aren't going to quite sell as fast. But it's also okay to stay the course for a while right now. We've put a couple of homes on the market just in the past few weeks when I was expecting to see this big surge up front, and it didn't really happen. But then all of a sudden, we're getting multiple offers 2-3 weeks in. A lot of that has to do with the time of year. I just remember from years ago, if you take a hard look at this time of year, early June is when a lot of people, the kids just got out of school, graduation's done, they're going on vacation. So there might be a little bit of what we call the June gloom for sales in the early part of June, but then I really feel like it's going to take off. And just looking at the stats for different local areas like El Paso County, the median list price is pretty much, staying the same. Not a big surge right now, but inventory definitely is heading back up. Average days on market about 74 days. And here's the thing, I wouldn't worry too much about that number. Sometimes sales are very local, and then it's very particular to your home. There are rarely two homes that are exactly the same. So some homes have different features and benefits than others do. So if you position your home to be the best it can be on the market with price, condition, marketing, who you choose for an agent, you're going to win. Places like Douglas County, the prices are heading back up, but so is the inventory. Average days on market in Douglas County is about 66 days. If you look at places like Teller County, now Teller County is right now coming into its prime season. The Texans all come up from Texas, and they love going up to Teller County. It's so beautiful. If you try to drive up there on a Friday afternoon, you will definitely be stuck in traffic, guaranteed, because all the people with campers and stuff like that are heading up there. It's just gorgeous up there this time of year. But we're seeing kind of a waggling of the median price in the mid fives. The average days on market is dropping, though. It was up over 110 days, and now it's dropping below that, and the inventory is coming back up. Other areas like Pueblo, the prices are heading back up, and the days on market kind of flat. But if you just consider the time of year, this is the beginning of the prime season for selling, and it's going to go through the summer. And as long as all the stars align, and you decide to price it right, promote it right, make sure you're picking the right agent that knows how to get the right exposure for your home, it's okay. You just have to be a little bit more patient, and you're going to win. My name is Barb Schlinker. I'm the broker owner of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty and the host of this show, Your Real Estate Voice. We're talking about, is now a good time to sell your home, or should you wait? And when we come back, we're going to talk about what home sellers should expect and plan if they are going to sell their home this summer. And if you are thinking of making a move, that's what we do for people all the time. It's a free in-home consultation on what to do, what not to do to get your house ready for sale. We'll go over all the closing costs, give you a really good idea what you'll put in your pocket when it sells, and show you what the market will command. Right now, we're sitting on over 28,128 buyers in waiting just on my little website. Typically, we can find at least 800 high matches for your home. So if you are thinking of making a move, give us a call, 719-301-3900, or go to barbhasthebuyers.com. Richard?
Barb, we're discussing the Fed's recent increase on the Fed borrowing rate and whether or not it has an effect on the housing market. So, what should home sellers expect and do in this market situation?
Well, I wouldn't worry too much about the Fed right now. Honestly, I feel like the Fed doesn't have a lot of impact on mortgage rates right now. They have some impact on the way banks get money, but mortgage rates are really more controlled by the bond market. And it fluctuates pretty much every day throughout the whole business day. We see lots of changes in the mortgage interest rates. So I wouldn't worry too much about it. I think in general, a lot of the buyers have figured out, hey, this is the new norm. And really, a rate hovering just under 7% is a really low rate. If you go back and you look in history and time, when I started in the business back in the late 90s, I think the rates were hovering around 9 or 10%. Within a few years, it dropped down to 7. And I remember my broker doing the happy dance saying this is the lowest rate we've seen in 50 years. Well, here we are again. The government quit meddling with interest rates, which I think is probably a good idea. And it's a good rate. You can still save a little extra money to buy the rate down. There's lots of options out there. And I will tell you, if you're a veteran and you have a loan that you're willing to let a borrower assume with the low interest rate, that makes your home the hottest home on the market. Talk to us. We do this all the time. It might be an option for you to command top dollar without really doing anything, and no risk to your credit and no risk to you being able to use your VA loan again. So give me a call if you're interested in that at 719-301-3900, or go to barbhasthebuyers.com. Richard?
You're listening to Your Real Estate Voice with Barb Schlinker of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. She is your real estate voice. And if you're making a move, give Barb a call, 719-301-3900, or visit barbhasthebuyers.com. We'll take a short break. When we come back, we'll be discussing, can a Colorado home seller change their mind after they accept an offer? Don't miss that.